who have been released after interrogation in Dar es Salaam, and those details coming through as this is a developing story. Now, the Department of International Relations and Cooperation says that South African journalist Angela Quintal and a colleague returned to their hotel in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania in the early hours of this morning after appealing for help on social media, saying that they had been taken for interrogation by the Tanzanian authorities. Quintal is the Africa Program Coordinator at the Committee to Protect Journalists. Her colleague, Muthoki Mumo, is a Sub-Saharan Africa representative for CPJ Africa. So for more on this story, we have chairperson of the South African National Editors Forum, Mahlatse, joining us now to tell us more about this. Mahlatse, good morning. So can you please give us an update on the situation, because there seems to be conflicting reports. We're hearing from DIRCO that they have been returned to their hotel, but family members were on social media earlier stating that that is actually a hoax and they are still in detention. So what are you hearing as SANEF?
So we have spoken to both DIRCO and also the family members. So what we can confirm is that Angela Quintal and her colleague have since been released from detention, but they are not yet free, and that is what we need to emphasize, because at the moment they still don't have their passports, which means that their movement is actually restricted, and we are appealing to the Tanzanian authorities to release their passports so that they can actually be able to move. So while they're out of detention, they still don't have the freedom to move around because their passports have been detained. We have since also learned from DIRCO that they have been moved from the hotel to the South African High Commission, to the embassy for, obviously we welcome that, because at least that ensures that they are safe. But we don't regard this as a full release because they don't have their passports as yet, which means that they cannot move freely, so they are still being held against their will in a way.
Mahlatse, is there any clarity at this stage as to what led to the interrogation of the two journalists?
Sakina, we do not have an answer as yet in terms of why they were actually detained, and that is one of the things that we are demanding from the Tanzanian authorities. What we do know is that there were officials who said they were from immigration services who came into their hotel room, and we understand that their belongings were searched. There's also an allegation that they took control of their social media accounts, hence that confusion about whether they were released or not. And this was last night, of course, that this confusion was there. And there's still 5 hours that we need to hear what actually happened to them in those 5 hours. What were they being detained for? What happened to them in those 5 hours? And what were the reasons that they were actually detained? It is quite worrying that people that are there working on the protection of journalists then find themselves arrested with no reason and no explanation given. And we are hoping that the South African government will also be demanding those answers on their behalf.
Well, Mahlatse, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much. And of course, this is a developing story. So as soon as there are further developments, we certainly will bring that to you as well. And that was Mahlatse, who is with SANEF, heading up that organization. Now, the Special Investigating Unit